there. Okay, so I'm ready to talk to you about brushes, leveling up your look. So we already covered Brush Basics 101. If you're new to makeup or you're not sure, how to really get a sharp professional look, or you're new to brushes at all, that video is going to be super helpful to you. So this is leveling up your look, adding extra brushes that you will definitely enjoy, but you may not need right off the bat. Okay, now one of them in particular, I think that you do need right away. But here we go. Let's first talk about this blending brush. So in the last video, we talked about the floofier the brush, the more nicely it's going to blend. So this is called the eye blending brush because it's very, very floofy, but it's not obnoxiously large. So it's going to fit in your eye area. And because it's so floofy, it's going to blend really nicely. It's going to blend your colors together so that you don't have a really sharp line. If you like that, that's fine. Or if you have two colors going together, you'll want to work those in together with a big fluffy brush. So this is definitely something to add to your brush collection if you're needing help blending. Okay, next up is the eyebrow eyeliner brush. Okay, so on this end, we've got a spoolie. That's what that's called. And then on this end, we have just this really teensy tiny little thin brush. And it's very dense. So you're going to pack a lot of color with this particular brush. So this end is eyeliner because you can stick it in any eye color, get some really intense specific color right there. So you can put it on there and then you can line along your lashes with this brush. And it's going to get really close. It's going to pack a lot of color because of the tight bristles. Okay. This is definitely something I recommend if you're not great at eyeliner or you like the look of eyeliner, but you've never been able to get it on really well. If you can't see really clearly, you can get close to your lashes with this brush and it'll give you that illusion of fuller lashes. Okay. And then we've got the spoolie on the other end. And you probably recognize a spoolie from mascara mostly, but this is great for combing your eyebrows into place. Okay. You can also use it for separating lashes if you need to. But my favorite thing is to brush those into place. And how I do my eyebrows is I brush them all up, I fill them in, I brush them all down, I fill it in, and then I put them into place with my brush. So this is one I use every single day. All right. Next is a cream color brush. So this is a little bit different shape in that it's got the big wide head, but it's very, very flat. Okay. So it's going to help you to really blend because you've got this fluffier outer edge, but this is very dense and tight. So it's going to deliver those cream products really well. So I just used it. Sorry, it's a little bit dirty. So you can use this for cream eye colors. My favorite part or thing to use it for is concealer or under eye corrector to lighten your under eyes. So this is definitely the brush that I recommend for any under eye work, any dark circles you need to conceal, because it used to be very popular. And I'm just going to tell you, it's not anymore. And it was only ever popular for like 20-year-old girls. Taking your concealer and taking that really thick brush and just brushing on like a triangle. Okay. And yes, you can still use this to apply if you want to, but I'm telling you, you don't want a lot of product under here, especially if you have any dryness or crepiness. You want to keep your product as light as possible. So using a little brush that can really fit into the crevice, like look, I can get right into my corner and I can get right up to my lashes and it's just angled so great. So using something like this is going to keep your product light so it doesn't get dry or wrinkly under that area. Okay. And then we've got, this is our blending brush. Now, not to be confused with our eye blending brush, okay? This is just the blending brush. So this is used for fuller coverage foundation, or you can use it for contouring because guess what? Look how dense these bristles are. Okay, it's a really amazing shape and super handy with this handle. And you can see it's got a little bit of a bend to it. So it makes it easy to reach different places. But you're going to use this. This will actually, if you use your foundation and you use it with another brush or a sponge or something like that, you're going to get a certain amount of coverage. You can use the same foundation with a more stacked bristle and get fuller coverage because that stacked bristle, that dense bristle, is going to deliver a more concentrated product. Okay. And then, of course, it's great for contouring because you could do a little bit darker color and you could contour right in those areas that need contoured, wherever you're going to contour. And because our brushes are synthetic, you can use them with creams or powders. So you can use our contour powder, or you can use, like I said, a foundation. And it can be a cream to powder foundation or a liquid foundation, whatever rocks your socks. Okay. Then let's talk about, again, I just used this, so I apologize, but I wanted to show you a used one because it is full of water. Well, I can't squeeze water out of it, but this is our blending sponge. Now, I know it's not technically a brush, but it is a tool that I highly recommend. So, lots of people make sponges and I can't really attest to them. What I can attest to is that our Mary Kay blending sponge is densely packed on the inside. It's got a dense inner core, which helps the bacteria not to absorb inside of there as much. Because the biggest problem with a sponge is that they harbor bacteria. Now, you are only going to use your sponge for about 3 months before you pitch it and get a new one, okay? Whereas your brushes, if you take care of them and you wash them, they're going to last you forever. As long as you brush them or use them the right, or dry them the right way and take care of them. So this will need to replace every 3 months because you don't want all that bacteria. But what you're going to do when you use it, so you can see mine, I used it. You're going to get it wet and you're going to squeeze it out, and you're going to get it wet. You're going to squeeze it out and do that like 13 to 15 times. And the sponge, when it's dry, is about this size and then, thinner. And so it's going to expand and it's going to work in your makeup so much better than a dry sponge. So I do put my eye makeup on with this. I make this sharp line here underneath my eye, or I'm sorry, my under eye corrector. And then I just lightly blend it in to make sure that it's a very light coverage. And because it's damp, I shouldn't say wet, it's damp, it's going to blend that really nicely. Now, obviously, we've got this ergonomic design, so it's easy to grab. It's easy to get into your corners. You've got a flat bottom if you want to apply in large areas, okay? And I want to tell you, you can definitely use this for your foundation. It's just going to give you like a sheer coverage. So this was a full coverage. This is a sheer coverage, okay? Sponges are a sheer coverage. So anytime you use a sponge, I don't care if it's ours or someone else's, you're definitely going to want to get it wet, squeeze it out, get it wet, squeeze it out. Not only does that help with the blending, but it also helps you not to absorb more product. So your product is going to last longer. Okay, I saved the best for last. So this is my favorite tool that we have. I would say it's probably one of my favorite brushes. I love the cheek brush that we talked about last week, but this is a game changer. Liquid foundation brush. When I start having my clients put on their foundation with this, not only does it take about 30 seconds, but it goes on to such a smooth, perfect finish. So a problem that you can run into with a sponge is that it can get blotchy, right? Because that sponge is going to deliver different amounts depending on the pressure. With bristles, you're just sweeping it on and you're going to get an even, soft, beautiful coverage very, very quickly. So this is a brush that I think you should add to your collection ASAP and use. So we've got a little bit of a taper here. So it's a little bit more stacked here and a little bit fluffier here. And then we've got a flat top. So this is going to be really nice for delivering an even coverage. And of course, it's going to bend in the areas like you're thinking, my face isn't flat. Well, no, but it's bristles. So it's going to bend according to your face shape. But with that flat coverage or flat brushes, I don't know why I can't talk today, you're going to get a better coverage. Okay, very even, very flawless looking. So add this to your arsenal. Now, light coverage, sheer, full coverage. This one's right in the middle. So this is going to give you a more even medium coverage. So you've got your sheer, and then you've got these stacked bristles, more coverage. And then these obviously are not as stacked. They're longer and they're a little bit looser. So that's going to give you a medium coverage. Okay, so that is how to level up your look. A few additional brushes that we adore. Feel free to ask if you have any questions or if I can help clarify anything. Or if you're like, hey, I want to do this, but I don't know what brush to use, just drop your comments below. I'm happy to answer them. And I just appreciate you hanging in as I get used to this YouTube channel. And I will hopefully hear from you soon.